All right, we should be live. There we go. So in today's live, we are going to be building this Knight's Travails project. Basically the concept is to given a starting position on an 8x8 chessboard and an ending position, I have to use breadth first search to find a path on to that square using knight's moves, like from a starting position to an ending position. And it is proven that if we go to knight's tour, it's possible to reach any square from any other square using just a knight. So it's a proven problem. At least for an 8x8 chessboard. Maybe not all sizes are possible, but it is possible. So basically we know that this problem will never be unsolvable. We'll always reach a solution, right? So we can use breadth first search to do a graph traversal to find that location. So this shouldn't be too difficult. I have a few ideas for how to implement this. So I think I'm just gonna like wing it and get started. First, just start by making the GitHub project. Webpack. So say Odin Knight's Travails. Implementing the Knight's Travails problem in TypeScript for the Odin Project. So good, git clone code Odin Knight's Travails. Okay, cool. All right, now we'll just get the environment set up real quick. So we'll do get the ts config done. So we'll do git add and wait, actually npm I. Good, git commit or git add. Add tsc config. Git push. Nice. Okay. Then we'll do npm run dev. Knight's Travails. So we'll do our testing in here, and then we'll make a new file called knights.typescript, and then we'll make some sort of IIFE object to store the logic for this problem. So we'll do knights travails export knights travails. Okay. And then there we go. And then we'll import it. And then we'll just do a test to make sure the thing is working. Const tests console.log tests return tests, and then we'll do nightstrails.tests, and then we should get a test. Perfect. Okay. So we've got that hooked up. Perfect. And now we can get back to the problem. So we need a way to represent the grid, right? So we could represent the grid as a, obviously like a 2D array. But then we want to also track visited positions, right? So, what we could do is we could have a grid that contains a list of key value pairs where the key is the current position and then the value is the position it came from, right? So I'm pretty sure this is not too tricky to do. So we can set up that data type first. And we can initialize all of the keys to be undefined to start. So let's just see. So we could implement it as a map, maybe? Yeah, map is iterated for key value pairs. Returns a 2-member array of key value for each iteration. So we can say const board equals new map, right? And then we can have like init board as just a function, and then we can loop through. So I don't know if we can set the key to an array. Key types. A map's key can be any value, including functions, objects. Okay, so that's good. Yo, how's it going, Harris and Ty? Nice to have you in. Okay, so then what we'll do is obviously as a knight's board is 8x8, right? What am I learning? I'm implementing the knight's travails problem in TypeScript. So essentially the idea is to use breadth first search to find a path from one square on a knight's board or on a chessboard to any other square, only using knight moves. So I'm implementing this problem in TypeScript right now. So that's the plan. So I think breadth first search is a good, well, it's obviously, it's also the suggested one, the suggested approach here. So I'm just gonna try my best to implement it. Okay. So we'll do for let I equals 0, I is less than 8. Actually, I might have like a const board width or board dimension. I don't know what I should call this. Board size. Board size. Just to have a variable for it instead of using a magic number. For let j is this board size. Oh, nice, Harris. Yeah, I kind of jumped the gun a little bit, so I'm doing TypeScript right off the bat. It's probably a little bit more challenging, but I think in the end it'll serve me well. So that's kind of the goal. So then we'll do board.set an array containing I and j to undefined. So now we'll get a map that has all the keys as undefined, which is what we want. Or I could even do null or something. No, I'll do undefined. So good. That's fine. And then we can call it here. And at the end we can, I don't know what console logging a board looks like. Ah, here it is. Okay, perfect. So that's exactly what we want. So then we can use this board to track visited, or well, we can track, well, we can de facto track visited locations, right? Because if a board, if a coordinate set in this board is undefined, then we'll know it's unvisited. But if it has a definition, then we'll know that it has been visited because that tracks the node that it came from, right? What has been my learning path so far? So I've kind of been following the Odin Project, Harris. Over the last 38 days, I started right at the beginning of the foundations. I cut out some of the really early lessons. Yeah, I kind of just have been live streaming as much of that as possible as kind of a starting point for my learning journey. And you can check all of my past VODs are up on my YouTube channel. And so I have like probably at this point nearly 100 hours worth of practice. And I'm not even like that far through. Like I did the entire foundations course. I did intermediate HTML and CSS. I'm almost finished the JavaScript course. Then I have advanced HTML, CSS, React, databases, Node.js, and then getting hired. But I think, from there, I'm going to expand and I don't know what's going to happen, honestly. Maybe come up with more personal projects to create, learn other languages, frameworks. My community is also pretty helpful or also helps guide me in the right direction too, which I really appreciate. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. I don't really have an end goal specifically. I just want to learn as much as I can to hopefully have a career change. No, it's all good, Harris. I want to initiate. I think you're new, so I wanted to just give you a little rundown. Don't worry about distracting. Part of the stream is also to interact with the audience as well, because I don't want it to be completely boring for you guys. So it's kind of like both. And I know in the rules I said no backseat coding, but I'm going to modify that a little bit because I don't mind help when I ask for it, but if I don't ask for help, then don't give it, I guess. I don't know. Because I know some folks that come in here are really knowledgeable and they can help me out. Okay, so then we initialize this map to all undefined, which is all well and good. And then we need our main function. So we'll do const traverse or something, or find path. And then we'll do a start. We should also have a custom type too. I should probably have a type for the I don't know. Can I do an array with bounds? Let me see. TypeScript array string type. Let me bring this over here so you guys can see. Not right now, Harris. I also do have a comp sci degree, but that's only nominally. It's basically, it's more of a math degree than anything else. But I didn't learn any like practical skills from my degree. Only, you know, like theory. A lot of discrete math and computer science theory, so like algorithms and stuff. So I know like kind of what I'm doing, sort of, but I don't actually know web development tech. So like I'm brand new to TypeScript, stuff like that. But yeah, no, I'm only following the Odin project for now. That's my goal is to kind of finish the Odin project and only like lock in on Odin as much as I can, because I like how open-ended the curriculum is, because even though it's, you know, it's a fixed curriculum, I find it kind of allows a lot of freedom for implementing projects the way you want. Like for example, I'm doing the Odin project but following along with TypeScript instead of JavaScript. Whereas something like Free Code Camp, and I've said this before on other streams, but something like Free Code Camp, it's great, but I find that the curriculum is very like it's very hand-holdy. Like it holds your hand, like it's very doesn't allow for much creative freedom. Like, you know, for example, build a cat photo app. There's like 42 steps to doing it, and each step has a very specific instruction, right? So like it's kind of harder to get that sort of experience of building something without, you know, the thing teaching you, telling you exactly what to do. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong. Excuse me. There's nothing wrong with this method of learning, especially if you're new to programming. But I already kind of know how to code, sort of. So I want the more open-ended curriculum. Anyway, so that's kind of like why I'm doing Odin, I guess, because I find that I can get a lot out of it. So anyway, yeah, that's my little side tangent. Let me see how to because I want to make like basically a custom type for that will only accept arrays where that would be valid nightboard positions. But maybe I shouldn't bother with it. Yeah. So I think I can do this as a type now. Yeah, I'll just keep them as numbers, and number. Cool. and then we'll check bounds. So I need another function, check bounds, check coordinate, or something like that, that takes in a chord, and then it returns whether it's within the bounds of the chessboard or not. So this helper function will come in handy. I'll call it is valid coordinate. So it'll basically check whether the coordinate would exist on a chessboard. So like, I'm gonna, for the sake of example, oh, this is how it wants it to be done. Okay. So like 0, 0's down here, and then 7, 7's here. But so I'll just check whether it's in bounds here. So I'll say if return, I can just do a long return. Return chord 0 is greater than or equal to 0, and chord 0 is less than or equal to 7, and chord 1 . All right, there we go. So that'll be handy for when we're validating coordinates. So then what I'll do is I'll say if not is valid coordinate for the start, or not is valid for the end, then I'll throw an error or something. I'll say throw new error. One or both provided coordinates is /r invalid, or something like that. There we go. Sorry, I have something in my throat. Okay, so that's good. And then now we want to establish the breadth first search, right? Yeah, so let me think about how to do this, because we first need to have a queue, which we'll call queue, and then we'll say this is a, we'll just have it as a, we'll implement it using an array, because there's a function called jsArray.shift, which essentially acts like a dequeue function. I think it's linear time technically, but for the size of the data we're working with, I'm not too concerned about that. What would I say is my biggest struggle or weak point? Honestly, I got to think about this for a second. Because, I mean, other than like learning, like struggling to learn new algorithms and implement them and stuff like that, like I would say like for me it's like thought out, like, so if I'm building a project, it's having like well thought out specs, right? So like, for example, let's say I'm building a really big app, and I haven't really had experience with building larger projects yet, but I would say even with the small or like small to medium sized projects that I have built, it's coming up with like a good plan. I kind of go into things very blind, I guess. So like, I think for coding, it's coming up with like a good high level spec first, like maybe doing like UML diagrams for how my different classes are going to look and stuff like that, and also documenting my code as well. I'm very bad at that. And coming up with clean implementations. Like, I usually just write the first implementation that comes to my mind, and I don't really think about it, which is something I have to learn to correct in the future. But yeah, no, I would say that. But I'm planning on addressing that with larger projects. Like for this is like a project I can feasibly create in this live stream. or feasibly solve in this live stream, so I'm not too worried about having like a really clean code or anything like that. But for something larger, like after this, I think the goal is to build a Battleship app. I'm gonna do the Git on my own. For this, I'm gonna try and come up with maybe some planning first, or something like that. Yeah, exactly, Harris. Like planning out not only the details, but like the details of the implementation. So I don't know if you've heard of UML, class diagrams. But like UML is basically like a planning language, even though it's more like a specification. So like let's say I'm creating like a, I don't know, like a Twitter clone or something, right? Then I can make diagrams like this to represent my classes. Like I could have the user class, and then there could be subtypes of users. Like there could be like a free tier user, and then like a premium user, and then I can like plan out what different attributes they need and stuff like that. Like I don't really do any of this planning. I'm not very good at it. Um, but having that higher level spec is very good for guiding larger projects, because it's very easy to get discouraged, I think, on larger projects if you don't really have an idea of what you're doing. So I don't know. That's kind of what I would say is my biggest weakness. But yeah, and also yeah, just not thinking through solutions very, very much. I kind of just code as I go. All right, so we have the queue, and then I need to enqueue the start position, I think. So I can do queue.push start, and then we can do like our main loop, which I'm gonna take a 5-minute break right now, because I do Pomodoro for these streams. So if the timer is green, that means I'm on a break, and if it's blue, that means I'm like working or just chatting with chat or whatever. But I mean, I chat usually, during the break too. It's more so. I more so have the Pomodoro just to kind of track how long the stream's going, right? Because another thing is I tend to work too long, like for too long of a stretch, and then burn out. So I usually keep these streams to 5 or 6 Pomodoro sessions, which is 2.5 to 3 hours. Because otherwise, I'll stream for 5 hours and I'll burn out. And I really don't want to do that. Because I also have a day job where I work 8 to 5. And if I do 5 hours of live stream on top of my 9-hour workday, I will be really burned. That will like kill me. So I try to keep it very strict. So like usually I do 2.5 hours on weeknights, and then 3 hours, or even sometimes 3.5 hours on weekends. But that's how it is. I think. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we're basically going to iterate through the queue, and then we're going to we also need a transformation vector or something, so that we can loop through, like for example, if we have a position here like 3-3, we need to get all the positions that it could visit, and then based on the positions that it could visit, we have to validate each position that it could visit, and then if it can, then we change the board map. Actually, I'm going to call it like board map. I think that's a better name for it. And then if it is a valid coordinate, then we will, you know, mark it as visited by setting its previous, you know, previous position as the value, right? So, and then we'll just kind of iterate through until this entire grid is filled. And then once the entire grid is filled, then we are done. And then basically what we can do is we can reconstruct the path by you know, filling in the grid, and then we can use the back pointers from this board map to reconstruct the path backwards by following previous like, so for example, let's say the end coordinate is 6, 6, right? Like, let's say that knight's goal is here. Because of the way that we're going to do the traversal, this grid cell's previous cell could have been this one or this one. It doesn't really matter, but let's say it's this one, 4, 5. And then the 4, 5's previous cell is 3, 3. So then we can reconstruct by going backwards. And then for 3, 3's previous visited, we could set it to like -1, -1 or something, so that we know we've hit the starting position. How do I find programming so far? I find it pretty good. I mean, I've been programming for longer than 38 days. This is more just web dev specifically. Like, I mean, I say my comp sci degree was mostly math, but we did do some coding. But it wasn't really coding related to project building. It was more so like using Python to implement DSA and like, you know, operating system theory, like caching and computer architecture and stuff like that. Like, so there were some of those courses, but I never really learned like web development at all. Like, we didn't even touch HTML or CSS. JavaScript, none of it. But yeah, I mean, I'm finding it interesting. Although I will say that JavaScript is a terrible language. It's not that good. TypeScript's a little better, but JavaScript is, compared to some other ones, like even C, like, because I have a bit of C experience, it's very loose, I would say. I mean, Python's the same in that sense, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I've been coding kind of at a, you know, not beginner. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a super beginner at programming. I would still say I'm a beginner, but not like, I know how to code. Like, I know how to write code. Whether it's good code, I don't, you know, it's probably not good code, but I've been writing code for like, in any sort of serious capacity for 2 years. So I'm not coming into this as a complete beginner, but I am a complete beginner in web development. And I know this is a bad example for web development, but I'm just following the Odin Project curriculum, and this is the very end of the computer science subsection. So after this, we're going to be going back into the full web development stuff. So yeah, anyway. So what we'll do is we'll say while q.length. So when the q length is 0, right? What we need to do is we need to say let position or current position equal q.shift, right? So then we're going to get the current position, which on the first loop is just going to get the starting position, right? We should also set the board map for the starting position. Dot set start. to -1, -1. So the starting position, we'll know where it is because its value will be -1, -1, right? We could even set a constant for that. Const start value or something. Just so we know. So it's easier to track. Okay, so we get our current position. And then what we have to do is, based on the current position, we have to calculate all possible knight's moves from that position, right? So there's a couple ways we could go about this. One way that we can do it is we can loop through 2 arrays. So I can say const knight move x, and then we can set like an 8-member array, and then const knight move y. So then this would be like we'll use this as a reference. So we'll go clockwise from, or maybe counterclockwise from this move here, right? So this would be 2 in the x direction, and then 1 in the y direction. So that'd be 2, and the next one would be 1, -1, -2. So it'd be 2, 1, -1, -2, -2, -1, 1, 2, right? And then this should be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. And we'll do the same for the y. So this is 1, 2, 2, 1. -1, -2, -2, -1, right? So, and then if we pair all of these together in like a loop down here or something like that, then we will get all of the positions, right? So we also can have another constant called possible knight moves, or num knight moves or something. Num moves. We'll just call it num moves, and it's also 8 because in the best case scenario, there's 8 possible knight moves, right? There might be fewer. Like for example, if we're in the corner here, the only possible knight moves are to this square and to this square, right? So there may be as few as 2. We have to cycle through all of them, and that's what this isValidCoordinate helper function's for, right? So what we'll do now is we will basically loop through those coordinates. So we'll say let's see, for let I equals 0, I is less than num moves I plus plus, and then we'll say let new position equal, or we'll call it new position, and then we'll set it as a 2-member array. So we'll do current position 0 plus knight move x I, and then current position 1 plus knight move y, right, at the ith position. So, right, because this could be possibly undefined. So can we like assert? Yeah, we can. Okay. Object is possibly undefined. I think I can assert these two. Maybe I can't do it like that. I'm not sure. I could probably do it with some sort of number. Does that fix it? No. See, and then this is the other thing that I still find tricky with TypeScript is like, is typing a little bit. Like, I don't know why this, like, I don't know how to prevent the undefined behavior here. So, like, let's see. Actually, I'll do the search in over here. So. I don't know how to fix this. I've gone through this before. Again, I could make a custom type for this, but I don't really feel like it. Maybe that's like the good practice, but I could just do that. Type night move vector or something like that. Night move, not vector because it's not really a number, and then we can just do this 8 times. There might be a better way of going about this. Number. Alright. And then we can call this a night move. Night. That doesn't fix this though. Maybe I can assert it like this. That fixes it. Okay. So I have to assert the definition in here. Okay. Yo, Gil, how's it going? We're basically doing another breadth first search again today. Use it like night. It's like a Knight's Tour problem. So, fun stuff. Okay, so we get that new position. And then we have to say if is valid coordinate new position. This needs to be constant as well. Okay. Argument of type number is not assignable. Oh, I see. I'll just do it like this. That's fine. Again, this is kind of sloppy. I could create a custom type, or I should create a custom type for a night coordinate. How am I feeling? Still a little bit out of my depth, but I'll get there. Like, basically, I think the problem that I'm facing currently, Gil, is that, you know, so I want to be able to store the knight's moves as obviously like a length 2 array containing numbers between 0 and 7. And I don't know how to set a custom type for that. Like, I could do something like this. Like, I could do type knight move, or like, I don't know what I would call it, like board position or something. And I would say, like, I don't want to do like 0 or 1 or 2. Like, I don't know if there's a way to like all the way to 7, right? Because I don't want to do that. Maybe this is the only way to do it. Like, I don't know if there's like a range operator that I can do, because I find this horrendously ugly. But anyway, we could do it. We could just do it like this. guess that can't do that like that. So start as a board position and board position. You need to list them, then create a type out of that list. Oh, I see. So I need to like literally list all of the possible coordinates. Like, so I need like essentially a type that contains all 64 coordinates. So like this wouldn't work. I see what you're saying. Maybe. But that's like the main thing. Like something like this. Yeah. Could use a tuple. Or I could do it like this. I could do like type board coordinate equals this, and then I could have just two board coordinates. Board coordinate, something like this. I think would work as well. Yes. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. I'll roll with that then. So we'll do chord is board coordinates. Or actually, I'll just do this as a number because I want to check that it's because this thing that's passed to this may not be valid. So I'm gonna leave that as is. Yo, Abdu, how's it going? Madrid won. I don't know what are you talking about soccer or football? I don't know. I don't follow sports. Hold on. Okay, so let's say it's valid. New position. Yeah. Okay. Cool. It's like Premier League. Is Madrid Premier League? I have no idea. I just know they're high up there. I have no clue. Okay, so if it's a valid coordinate, and then we also have to check whether it's if it's not been visited, right? And we can check that by doing this. We can do board map dot get new position. Although I might want to do this inside of here. So I want to say because if it's not a valid coordinate and I try to get, actually it might just return nothing if I try to get an invalid position. So I think that's fine. Board map. I appreciate that, Abdu. It was a Champions League. Okay, cool. I know you got Europeans are really into into soccer, or they call it football, of course. In North America, we call it soccer. Unfortunately, I like the name football a lot better. When I was a young kid, I lived in the UK for half a year, and all of the kids there called it football, and I'm like, you know, as an 8-year-old kid, I'm like, oh, football, calling it football makes a hell of a lot more sense. Because I had never understood why it was called soccer. To me, it was just like random. Anyway, sorry, that's like a side, a side tangent. Okay, so if it's a valid coordinate and the, oh, we need to check if it's undefined, right? Although maybe undefined is a bad. Is a bad way to mark if it's unvisited. Now that I think about it. Maybe we want another special value to mark unvisited. We could do that as well. We could do a start value, const unvisited value is like -2 or something. I don't know. We'll say unvisited value. Okay. Something like this. Supposedly, you're going to learn Abdu? Great. If you want a launching point, you can start with my live stream recordings. I walk right through the beginning. Right from the beginning. Supposedly the best league in the world, the Premier League, but today all of them lost. Dang. Yeah, I knew something like that. Like, I know there's like, what are the teams? It was like Chelsea, I think, was the one that, I knew about when I lived in England, and that was back when David Beckham was playing. So that maybe that dates me a little bit. But I mean, I don't know. That's what I don't remember much from those days, but that was around the 08 financial crisis. That's when we lived there. Okay, hold on. Let me. Do I have a particular sport I follow? Not really, Gil. I'm not huge into sports. However, I did follow the Canadian baseball team, the Toronto Blue Jays. Almost won the World Series, so I followed the baseball World Series a little bit because that was kind of cool. Although we lost to the LA Dodgers, but as a Canadian, you know, that was kind of cool. But no, other than that, like, not really. I don't watch, despite being Canadian, I don't watch hockey. I don't watch baseball really, except for that World Series. I watched the Olympics though, which were cool, even though Canada kind of sucked a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so let me see. Okay, so we have is valid coordinate and board map. So if it's unvisited, then what we'll say is board map dot set new position to the current position, which will be the previous position. Current or new pose can be reached from current pose in one move. Oh, your boss was just Canadian, was excited for that? Yeah, it was very huge. It was like a thing where like everyone was watching it. Yeah, I mean, I like baseball. I might follow them next year because I think they're still going to be really good. But no, I don't really watch any other sports. I don't know. I've just never really been huge into sports. I wasn't really athletic as a kid. I mean, I did play when I was really, really little. My dad put me in hockey because, you know, that's what every Canadian dad does, I guess. But I played hockey until I was about 9. I played soccer too. I wasn't very good at either, but, you know, I did it. So, you know, but no, I wasn't very gifted athletically. Anyway, okay, so we set our previous position here. And then what do we want to do? We want to add the position to the queue. So we want to say queue.push new position, right? Oh, so we'll say board position. Whoops. Now this is going to cause trouble because we might have to say board position or number, because this actually, I don't know if that's a good idea, because this position may not be valid. So does this fix it? Object is possibly undefined. So you know what we'll do? We'll only do this if current pose. If current pose adds another nest, but that's okay. Explicitly has any types and not as. I wonder if I can do this. Okay. That works then. Then can I remove this explicit check? I don't know. Alright, cool. Apparently I can. Hockey's a national sport. Yeah, I think. I don't know. Let me look it up. It's hockey, ice hockey, and lacrosse as well. I don't know if I've never played lacrosse, but you can see here. It's kind of like hockey. It's like hockey, except you throw a ball around in a net, like on a stick. Yeah, it is like a rich kid sport. I've never played it before. But our university actually had a team, a lacrosse team. Again, I never played it personally, but you know. All right, so then this should be fine. And then what we could do is we can just go through this entire thing. And then this should fill up our entire grid, right? And then we can also test that. We can do just to test that we reach every position. We can. I'm just gonna do this one. We'll say like let counter equals 0, and then if we go in here, and we'll say counter plus plus, and then this counter should be 60. 63 or 64 by the end, right? Console.log board map and counter, right? And then of course we need to actually call that function. So we'll just say find path from 0 to 0 to like 7 7 or something. And I'll test it. We'll just see if it even returns anything. Okay, so that's 0. Queue.push. Yeah, so these are all unvisited. Which is interesting. I don't know why. Because theoretically, so this should do a traversal. Actually, I could do this. Number. Yeah, I'll debug it after this break. So that's our current position. And I have a feeling, okay, so I have a feeling this check is not passing. Or something like this. So then I'll just do new pose. Yeah, so then this, so then the only valid one should be these two. Let's actually test that out here. Is valid coordinate new pose. Ah, okay, so the is valid coordinate thing works. Interesting. I wonder if the board map is not being set properly. Yeah, no worries, Gil. I appreciate you coming around in whichever capacity you're able, honestly. So no worries whatsoever. But yeah, I hope your Wednesday's been good though. I'm taking a break tomorrow, so no stream tomorrow, and then I'll be back maybe Friday night. I should stream Friday. Depending if I don't want to burn out, but so if I really don't feel like it, then I won't. But I should be live again Friday. But my girlfriend and I have designated Thursday nights are the night that I take off. So that was the concession with the girlfriend. So, because I have family and a partner and stuff, so I can't completely stream every night. But yeah. Anyway, it's a little side rant. Get busy the older, yeah, big day tomorrow, exactly. Yup. Ever since I honestly, I thought after school, after I finished university, I would get less busy, but since I started working full time last May, it's been whew, I have a big adult white collar job now. I'm in my mid-20s, not a kid, not a kid even anymore, even though I feel like one. So okay, let's check the board map. I just want to make sure this is being set properly. Okay, so this isn't actually being reached, I don't think. Yeah, so this condition is false. New position. And then this. So yeah, so it's false. I don't know why that's false. Because board.map.get new position. Oh, it's undefined. Why? It shouldn't be undefined. Because we initialized the board. I wonder if there is some asynchronous bullshit happening here. Like if I put the init board inside of here, I wonder if this would fix the problem. No. Okay, so that's not the issue. I mean, I'll leave it in here anyway. I don't know why, because this should be setting everything to... Let me just console log it. Console log board map.get ij. Oh, interesting. So it's not setting what I think it's setting. Huh. Should be setting everything to -2, -2. But I don't know why it isn't. Just... Now I could encode the keys differently. I'll actually just do this down here. Okay, so then we got our map. Yeah, so they're all set to... This is the weird thing. Yeah, and it's undefined. So what is going on? Our key is 0, 0. But then we have... Apparently this key isn't working. Now what I could do is I could encode the key as a so I could encode the key as a number. So I can say position board position to number to key. Position as board position. Or I'll call this board vector or something. Board range. then we'll do return position 0 times 8 plus position 1. And then we'll do const key to board position, key as a number. And then we'll say if number or key is greater than or equal to 0 and key is less than or equal to 63, then return key divided by 8, or math.4, I guess. Math.4, and key modulo 8. Otherwise, return -2, -2, if it's a bad position. Or I can just throw an error. Throw new error invalid key. Okay, so now what I can do is I can use these functions to set the key here, because I have a feeling these keys are not, having a key as a 2-member array is not, doesn't work. I don't know why, but I'm trying to get around it. So we'll do board position to key, and then we'll put in the board position, right? I as a board. Actually, I can set the type here. Board range. Board range. So what's the problem? Type number is not assignable to board range. Let I number. Oh, maybe I can only iterate through numbers. As board range. As board range. Okay, that fixes it. And then I can do board map.get board position to key ij. There we go. That's what I wanted. Perfect. Why is there a 64th key? Key. Oh, because of this. I see. Okay. So that's good. Console log. Yeah, okay, I don't need this anymore. Good. And then we'll do board map.get board position to key ij. Oh wait, no. What was it? New pose. Okay, I have a way of getting around this. Keep that check there. And then we do this. We'll say if new position. So if it's a valid coordinate, we can cast it to board coordinate, right? So we can say new position chord as chord board coordinate equals new position as board chord. And then we could say if board map dot get board position to key new position as chord is equal to unvisited value. Then we can do this stuff. That's a little convoluted, but it does work, I think, maybe. And then we should, the board map should be populated now. Uh-oh, is this an infinite loop? It might be. Okay. I didn't check for something. Let's kill it before it dies. Okay, alright, okay. So this is an infinite loop, so why is it an infinite loop? Oh, because we're not setting it properly here. That's why. Because we want to set it as board position to key as well, right? Actually, you know what we'll do? We'll get const key equals board position to key. And then we'll do this as key. Key. Actually, we can circumvent this entire thing by doing this. Just get rid of this variable. That's better. Okay. Okay, I don't need that either. Okay, let's deploy this sucker. Okay. Nice. What project am I working on? What's her name? Sarthika? We are working on an implementation of the Knight's Travails problem in TypeScript. So essentially the idea is you are given a starting and an ending coordinate for a knight, like in the game of chess, and you have to use breadth first search to find the minimum length viable path. And I'm doing so through breadth first search, yeah, as I already said. So that's essentially what we're doing. We're just implementing a breadth first search algorithm. Okay, so that's fine. I might not even need this other helper function. So let's see. Let's check out this array. Are these all like valid? I don't know. Four two, 4 5, 5 4. I would assume these are valid. I don't know. 0 6 7 6. What else am I printing that I don't need? This. Okay. There we go. Could I share the background noise? Yeah, sure. I'll post a link in the chat. It's just this YouTube video. No worries. Okay. So I think we now have a valid path. So what we can do, I think, is reconstruct it backwards. So now we have our map, or our grid, right? Our map, whatever. And then we can get the end coordinate, and then we can go backwards, I think. So let's reconstruct path. Maybe I could split that into two functions. So I can say I can do like const BFS board map. And then we can do that like this. So we just need a starting position. And then we can put all of this code inside of that. This is just a bit of refactoring so that we can consolidate things. Okay, so BFS board map. BFS board map starts. And then we will reconstruct path based on that. Const reconstruct path. And then we don't actually have to give it anything, but then it will return an array of board chords, actually, specifically. And then we need the end, or the start and the end as well in here. I lied. We need the start and the end. Okay. So now we can reconstruct path. Or we'll say const path. Actually, we'll just return it. Return reconstruct path start end. And we'll say const path equals an empty array. And then we'll say const current position, or we'll actually do let current position equal end, right? And then we'll say while current position is not equal to start, we'll say let new position equal, well, actually we'll enqueue, we'll push the value onto path here. Although I want to do this from, I need to then reverse the path, now that I think about it. Although there's a way to, because I want to prepend to array JavaScript. Oh, I see. display.onShift. Okay, so we can prepend. How do I manage to deal with all the AI hype? I'm not gonna lie, MKM, I kind of ignore it. Because unless somebody tells me at my job that you're gonna lose your job due to AI and you're fucked, like someone in my life tells me that in real life, that's not on Twitter, it's not on X, I'm not gonna freak out until then. And I'm gonna try my best to foster a community of like-minded individuals who also like to create authentic code without vibe coding it or giving into this hype. It is a little bit cope, I will admit, but I don't know. Yo, this combo seems deep as AF. Kind of, a little bit, Jay. It's nice to see you, by the way. I'm glad you could tune in. We're working on this night's travel problem. But yeah, no, anyway, back to that. I honestly just, I don't know. I kind of ignore it and just do my own thing. Because as of now, my employment is secure, thank God. At least as far as AI is concerned. I might lose my job for other reasons, but AI is not coming for my job. I know that. Based on actually living in the real world. A lot of the people you read on Twitter, it's like they're living in this like Silicon Valley pipe dream. That's okay, Jay. I get that. I honestly was a little swamped at work today, but the good news about my job is based on the job that I have. When my time is up at the end of the day, I don't have to. There's no overtime, nothing. So I can kind of just I can segment work to when work needs to happen. Yeah, it's true, MKM. I think AI, as I say, I think AI will be. I've said this before, but AI will be great as a tool for programmers to use. But we're in this like early honeymoon phase with AI where people think it can replace everything when it really can't. Yeah, it is. It is nice, Jay. That's the one reason I love my current job, is because I can leave work at work. Like because I worked for public sector, it's very much you start work, you do your work, and then at the end of the day you clock out, and that's it. And then you don't touch it until the next day. Like very rarely do I get a call off hours. Like I think since I started my job, I've gotten one off hour call from my boss, and that was due to and someone had an emergency with something that they were doing for a client. So anyway, very very rare. Oh yeah, the work's waiting for me too, but I just ignore it. Yeah, exactly, MKM. Like my job is busy during the day, I won't lie. Like I'm in a lot of meetings, but like I would honestly say like half of my day, if not more than half, is like just meetings. Yeah, exactly, Jay. Like in one of the test cases I got it to generate, it actually made a mistake. Like in the I forget what project it was. I think it was the recursion project. It made a mistake. So AI is not flawless whatsoever. Um, because again, people don't realize that it's just a fucking input output machine. It's a very complicated input output machine, but that's all it is. I mean, if you really want to be existential, you could say that humans are also just input output machines, but I'd argue that we're more complicated than that. I don't know. I feel like that gets into a whole like existential conversation. Um, oh, that's true, I guess, Jay. Like if you have multiple, I've never tried it. I'm not gonna lie. Like if you have multiple agents working on the same problem, like it's more likely by probability that like one of the agents gets it right. I see what you're saying. I think. Um, but yeah. Um, it's weird. I haven't worked with AI. I'm gonna learn it eventually because I know it's important. Even though I don't like Like, I'm never gonna vibe code, but I'm gonna learn how to leverage AI at some point, but not yet. Not for a while. Yeah, exactly, Jay. And the other thing too is I don't think enough of the working, like the software engineers, are proficient enough with it for them to actually gain productivity. Like, I don't think companies are prioritizing their employees to actually learn how to use our existing tools like Claude Code and Anti Gravity, whatever the other ones are. I don't know. Codex, I think, is one. Um, so I think that, you know, and I've heard this before, is like the actual models, it's marginally better, but this tooling around using the models has drastically improved in the last 2 years, which is great. But again, if the employers aren't actually telling their or training their employees on how to use these things, they're gaining actually probably negative benefits. So they're actually becoming less effective because they don't know how to use the fucking thing, right? So I don't know. That's just my, naive take on it. Um, but I know in my work, like we could never use AI. It would be very risky. Like the sector that I work in is very much critical in the sense that if like AI can't fuck it up, because if AI fucked up our job, then we would be in deep, 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 deep trouble. So like our stuff like needs human hands. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? And as somebody who works in a corporate setting, even if it's public sector, it's still a corporate structure. You know, teams don't even know, we're still like struggling on like what the best budget is, let alone extra tooling that we need to train our existing employees on top of, right? Like, a lot of the meetings that I'm a part of are like, oh, budget this, budget that, project management this, project management that. Like, we're not even close to having that discussion. We're still trying to figure out how to be human beings that can work together. Like, I think that's why corporate is so bullshit, because people are so ineffective at working together. I don't know. Maybe this is me being cynical, sitting in meetings all day, but I feel like a lot of meetings are just meetings about meetings, essentially. They're like meetings about like how to more effectively communicate, or meetings about project touch points, like, oh, have you met this deliverable? Yes, no, okay, what roadblocks do you have? This, okay. How can we address that roadblock? Okay, well, there's this consultant we can reach out to. Okay, so who's the consultant? Oh, they're a part of this, stuff like that. Um, it does. It does. That's true. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of technicalities, and again, these startup founder hype beasts in the U.S. And I'm sorry to single out the states here, but I see it mostly in the U.S. because I don't know, I feel like Americans have this like hyper capitalist mindset. Not all Americans, but a lot do, where they kind of just think that AI is gonna, they could create startups that are, you know, unicorns based on entirely vibe coded shit. Like, no, like you guys are living in a fantasy. I don't know. Yeah. You don't see that as much in Canada or even in Europe. I don't know if any Europeans in the chat could vouch for that, but like I find it's like sickening. Like, I have a buddy who I went to high school with. Grew up in my hometown with me. I've been friends with the guy since, I was a little kid, like 5 or 6 years old. And he gets an internship at Tesla in Silicon Valley, which is great. Like, because he did engineering, mechanical engineering, so he became a mechanical engineer. Anyway, so he went to Tesla. He still lives in California, and it's like since he went there, his mind's been like polluted by like the American like dream. I don't know, whatever it is. You're still building it yourself, but you're using Supabase. Oh yeah, that's fair, Jay. Like, again, small little things like that you have direct agency over, like that's totally fine if you're comfortable using it and you understand what's going on. Like, that's a great use case. But like, again, these like Silicon Valley hype beasts are just like, ugh, I don't know. 38 days, Helios, yes, that's right. 38 days on web development specifically. I have a CS degree though, so I'm not completely starting from scratch. I don't know what better auth is, but I would assume it's like an auth solution of some kind. Anyway, let's do this then. So I want to do path.unshift. And then it would be current position, and then current position equals board map dot get board position to key current position. I think that's good. And then return path. Yeah, I will get there, Jay. I'm motivated. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. This is just the beginning. So, because I do eventually want to. I mean, as I said before, like my employer is great. It's safe, and I, have a good, pretty decent work-life balance. But it's not like exactly what I want to do. Like, IT is not what I want to do long term. So, because it's not super exciting. I don't know. Anyway, so we have a reconstruct path. So we'll do let const final path equals this console.log final path. No Claude Helios. I'm not using AI for learning. Definitely roll your own auth first sessions. Yeah. I had some visibility. I hate to use that term because it's very corporate, but I was on a team for my capstone project, which you'd think was actually building a project, but no, I was the project manager. So I didn't actually do any coding. I don't know why I decided to be the project manager, but I did because I felt like I'd be good at it. Anyway, there was this guy building an auth solution with JSON web tokens, as you just said, and I saw kind of what he was doing. So, I've heard of it before. Anyway, this might be a valid path. I don't know. I'd have to check it. It might not be the shortest though. Now that I think about it. Have I tried games before, like making games, Helios? Like if we do 7.7, I don't know if this path is valid or not. I would assume it's valid. Actually, I would want to also push the start. I want to do this. Oh wait, no, I want it at the beginning. So I want to do that here. Path dot unshift start. There we go. Oh, nice, Wake. You got this, my guy. Studying Python. How are you learning Python, Wake? Are you using Free Code Camp or another method like a textbook or something? Yeah, I've tried making games before. Actually, Helios, that's how I started programming when I was really young. I taught myself Game Maker, which is like a really, old game engine. I don't know. I think they made a new version of it, but it's an old game engine that uses this like C-like scripting language, and I taught myself the basics of coding then. Long time ago, like 15 years ago. And so I had that for a while, and then I didn't code for like a decade, and then I went back to it when I was I got back into coding when I was 22, so like 3 years ago. But anyway, let me see. I don't know if this is a valid. So 7.7 goes to 5.6, so that would be here, and then it goes to where? And then it goes to 7.5. Which is here. Okay. And then it goes to 6.3, which 7.5 to 6.3 is here. And then 4.2, 6.3 to 4.2 is here. I think that might be the shortest path. And then 2.1. And then 0.0. I think that actually did find a path. I think this works now. I think this might work. So if I do 0.0 to 3.3. Yeah, it did. It found it. Okay. So now I could generate test cases for this. Oh, no, I do want to code Helios. That's my goal. I just don't want to necessarily be a game developer. I also meant different projects too. Like, oh, I will, Jay. I'll take a look. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to look at it. I kind of want to see what it is now, but I'll wait. Yeah, so I think this works. I don't know. But no, the reason I don't want to do game development isn't because I don't think it's fun. I just think there's like... It's a very fun thing to do, but I don't want to sink time into it because it's not... It's very, very hard to get a career in game development. If not impossible, unless you're an indie. But being an indie is like... You make no money. Okay, yeah, I won't read it out loud. Don't worry. I won't read it out loud. Am I going SaaS all the way? Well, no, I don't know, Helios. Probably. Web development for sure. Whether or not I make a SaaS or some other product, I'm not sure. But SaaS would be something I could do. I'm kind of using the Odin project as a way to get my foot in the door and explore technologies that I enjoy and like, and then kind of going from there and coming up with things to build. Is JS the most flexible language? I guess flexible is one word for it. I don't know. It's dynamic, right? So it's dynamic in the sense that there's no static typing, which is what the... I guess I don't need this function, which is what TypeScript tries to do, right? Because static typing is good, because if you have static typing, you can debug a lot of shit before it even causes a bug. Where with JavaScript, because the types are dynamic, you can sometimes get really weird errors due to type errors, but JavaScript isn't very good at telling you that it's a type error, so then you're like sitting there scratching your head, you're like, what the hell is going on? So like, at least from my understanding, that's like part of the biggest problem with it. So anyway, let me I can generate some test cases here. So we can actually we can do jest. We can because I honestly think this is done. And then I'm going to export or I'll return find path from this, because that's the only function I need. Oh, I see what you mean, MKM. Yeah, like, because it can be used for Node, right? So in the front end you can have React, in the back end you can have Node, right? So yeah, I would say it's flexible in that sense. However, there are better back-end languages to learn. So which what projects do I fable to do? No, I haven't. I'm kind of Helios. My goal for now is to follow the Odin project and finish it. That's my number one goal. Yeah, PHP. That's a good example of a early backend language, or Go, or Ruby, or there's other ones. Python even. But anyway, so I think this is done. I'm gonna just read a message here, and then I'm going to oh shit. Okay. All right. Cool. I'm gonna get Jest in here to do some testing. Nothing planned after it. Sorry, I didn't finish what I was saying. No, I do have stuff planned for it, but I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. But nothing planned. No, like I know I'm gonna continue, but I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Helios. I also want to maybe expand this channel a little bit. I don't know how, but I want to maybe do content creation, like maybe whether it's tutoring or so make some sort of content. I don't know what kind of content I'm going to do though. I have no idea. But I'm kind of figuring it out as I go. Right now I'm just doing the streams because that's kind of all I have the bandwidth for. But yeah, don't expand yet. Fair. I know, but that's why I'm sticking with the streams for now. So. Oh yeah, like, wait, what did you think I meant by expand, Jay? I'm just curious, cause I mean, I was just thinking of uploading content, cause I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, whether I wanted to just focus solely on streaming or uploading content. Then I locked in pretty quick to streaming, because I find it more, less work, I guess. Oh God, no. No. I don't mean creating multiple channels. I mean just creating content, more content for this channel, like long form content. Yeah, I'm going to. I don't know. I need to come up with what, but right now, like with work and stuff, like I only really have bandwidth to plan the streams, but I'm gonna eventually plan more stuff. Okay. So let's I think it's just this, right? Okay, cool. And I could get some tests in here for this. Better than me, dude. I've been thinking about it for so long. Like I've wanted to do YouTube for so long, and I have channels out there. A couple channels of me doing YouTube, like when I was like 12 or 13, like Minecraft videos. So I've wanted to do this. It's been in the back of my head for a long time, but I finally was like, okay, I'm out of school. I've been in this job for a long time, not a long time, but like 6 months or whatever, 9 months. I want to do something outside of work because I was bored as hell after work was done, and so I wanted something to like sink my teeth into. What I recommend, you start with HTML with the YouTube course they discovered free cooking. I mean, Abdu, you can learn HTML from multiple sources. Like you could learn free code camp and the YouTube course. Like you could do both at the same time and kind of use one to supplement information for the other and kind of augment your learning that way. So I mean there's no like right way to go about it. Okay, so I'm gonna make a new testing file, which is night dot, is it spec? I think so. I think it's dot spec. Let me do Jest documentation. Oh, I forgot to do -D. Oops. That was my bad. Okay. Oh, it's .test. Okay, rename .test. Nice. Okay, I can delete this. And then I'll import the get the package working. I'll do test here. So say npm. Oh no, it's just jest. npm jest. And then nights dot test .js or something. That should work. No worries, Abdu. It's all good. Okay, so I'm just trying to get the. Okay, so we'll import Knights Travails. Travails is such a weird word. I don't know if you guys agree. Travails just sounds wrong. It should be like travels, but it isn't. You know, and it is pronounced correctly because I did look up the pronunciation. Okay, so we can generate some test cases. The only problem is I don't know if okay, so dare we get ChatGPT to generate test cases for us? Because I really don't feel like doing this manually. I don't know. We could try for fun and see, and we could laugh at AI if it's bad at generating test cases. We can try that. Okay, let's try that then. Generate jest test cases for the Knights Travails problem. Counting for here is a description of the problem and assume the function find path start and returns a path as an array of coordinates in the form number. Yeah, using it for test cases seems reasonable. Yeah, I am baklava. Like, because again, if the AI is wrong, then that further entrenches my stance on why I don't like it. But I don't really feel like sitting here and writing test cases all night, so I'm gonna leverage it. You sent a few messages on Discord to verify. Okay, sounds good. I'll look at them on the break, Jay. I'm just trying to think about what to copy to give ChatGPT to tell it what this is. Let's see. For the project, you'll need to use a graph. Given enough turns, remove an square. Basically, do steps forward. I might just like copy this whole thing. I don't care. This is probably like bad but I could just copy this. Okay, let's see what it spits out. Oh wait, yeah, okay, I already said jest. Okay. Wait, but how do I check if the is valid path? Can you adapt the code for TypeScript? All right, let's see what it comes up with here. It's assuming I have this is valid path thing written, but I don't know what. Oh, I see. Okay. All right, let's try this. We're gonna have to adapt this code a little bit, but okay. So this type we could actually import from nights. We might need to put these outside of the object, like here, right? And we'll export those board, chord, board range. Oh wait, no, we don't need to because we exported them up there. Dumb. Okay. Then we can import them here. Board range. Okay. Oops. Okay. This is ChatGPT right here. So we don't need this. So this is board coordinate. Describe. Oh, and then I need to add jest to the types here. In here, types, jest. I should have fixed it, no? Oh, or is it library? It might be library. No. Types jest. Yeah, cannot. Type field new JS config. Oh, okay. Okay. So I need to install them first. And then I put them in here. Okay. There we go. Good. Oh wait, I put this wrong. Okay, wrong spot. Okay. We'll edit this ChatGPT stuff after. Just credit ChatGPT. I don't know. So. This needs to be, okay. So we need to do board coordinate. Let's do that. Okay. I got you, Jay. I got you. No worries. Alrighty. So, hopefully this works. I don't know. Are we confident that... Because, okay. This is night move. Return DX. Oh, I see. It just checks if it's a night move or not. Okay. Yeah, that should be fine. We need to change this though to night's travails.findPath. So we'll do a command F situation here. So we'll do night moves, and then we'll replace it with this guy. There we go. It's got one error. Oh. Board code is a type, must be imported using type only import. Ah, okay. Quick fix it? Quick fix. Ah, that's what it is. Okay. Alright. Cool. Oh, yeah, sure, Baklava. Sorry, I didn't see that. So basically, let me get rid of all these things here. So basically what I did was I created a solution to this Knight's Travails problem, which involves finding the shortest path that a chess knight can take from any valid position on the chessboard, so that's any coordinate from 0, 0 to 7, 7, to any other position. And I'm using breadth first search to find that path. That's essentially what it is. And then I use ChatGPT to generate some test cases. To test the functionality. And I'm assuming they're valid. I'm assuming this is valid, and if it isn't, then we'll find out, I guess. But this was ChatGPT specifically. I don't know what model we're on now. Doesn't even say anymore. It's like 5 something. I don't know. I don't pay for it. But you know. So after the stream, or not after the stream, sorry, after the break, we will test this guy. So anyway, just do it now, I guess. All right, I'm getting impatient. All right, so then we can do npm run test. I think that should work. Really cool implementation for BFS. Yeah, it is a neat problem, eh? So essentially what I did is I have this function findPath, which first checks that the start and the end coordinates are valid. And then if it is valid, I store the board as a map. Yeah, it can work like that because it's just a graph. You can think of this board as just a graph, right, Baklava? So I store the board as a map, which is like key value pairs, right? And then I initialize all of them to this unvisited value constant, right? And essentially the goal is I use breadth first search to populate this map with values that point to the location that was reached. Like, I don't know how to describe it. So like, for example, like let's say, you're starting at this position here, right? 3, 3. In all of these grid cells, I would store so the key would be the position itself. So for this position is 4, 5. The key is 4, 5, but then the value would be 3, 3 because that's the previous position. So essentially, once I populate the entire grid with values that point to the previous location, I can use that map to reconstruct a path by traversing, by getting to the end value from that map, and then going backwards based on the values to construct a path. So that's what this function's doing, this reconstruct path. It's using the board map that we constructed in this BFS board map function. And then this find path just kind of combines both of them. So we start by constructing the board map with breadth first search, and then we reconstruct the path. And we return it as a list of coordinates, right? So that's essentially what I did in the last 2 hours. I wrote this little script. It wasn't without distraction, though. But that's okay. It's part of the streaming game, right? But anyway, okay. So all right. So we've got this. I'm not gonna bother outputting shit because I don't care. So now we can test it. Oh shit. Maybe it's just jest instead of npm jest. It might just be jest. Okay. I have a feeling. Test suite run failed to run. Jest failed to parse a file. By default, node modules. Oh, is it because I'm using... It's because I'm using ECMAScript, I think. But I don't remember how I did this before. Oh. Out of the box just supports Babel. Right, I forgot about Babel. Hold on. We need to go backwards here a little bit. Let's get Babel in here. Forgot about Babel. Whoops. Yeah, you should, Baklava. It's pretty neat. I forgot about Babel. Okay, so let's install Babel. And then babel.config, new file, babel.config.js. All right, so then this should maybe fix this problem. Okay, so we failed one test. Same start and end. Okay, so then so all the other ones passed, so that's good. Okay, so you know what we can do actually is we can check that case explicitly here. We can say if start is end, then return start like this. So then if the start value equals the end value, then we just circumvent all this nonsense. Because then we just return a singleton, like a one value array with the start value, right? At least it should have done that. Expected 0, received 8. Oh, because it went to 2, 1 and back to 0, 0. I see. Let's see. Const path is maybe this. Maybe 0, 0 doesn't actually fully equal 0, 0. Because it's not, it's a equality by reference or something, because it's actually two different variables. So maybe we do it like this. So if we do start 0 equals end 0 and start 1 equals end 1, something like this maybe. It's kind of a shitty hack, but yeah, see, that fixed it. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, so according to ChatGPT, do we trust ChatGPT? I think for the sake of this, we trust it, because this looks pretty fine to me. Because what it's doing is, okay, we're testing the same start and end. Single move. It's testing the path length, right? It's testing the end value. It's testing the start value. It's testing the path length, and then it's testing if it's a valid path, which basically goes through all of the knight moves and checks that they are valid. So it checks that each move that's made within the path is a valid knight move, right? That's what this function's doing, that ChatGPT provided, right? So, I mean, it all makes good sense to me. I don't know. All right, so we'll just finish it up here. We'll do implement knights travails first core algorithm includes test suite generated by ChatGPT. Cool. And we'll push that to Git. Awesome. All right, I think that ends this problem, which honestly, I thought I was gonna have a lot more trouble with this than I ended up having, which is good. So we'll submit that. Forgot all about the Babel thing. That's okay. So then let's see. Yes. Good. Save that guy. All right. So I was doing some Git stuff. I don't know if we want to do the Git stuff on stream. You know what? To end this stream, I might, only because I don't really want to start the Battleship project. I feel like it's like too late into the stream to start this, but we can go through what it is at least. So basically the idea is to create a web app that is a clone of the common board game Battleship, right? With testing. So we have a ship object. Should have a hit function, and it is sunk. Game board. Then we also need a display manager. So like this is like our what we're gonna go for. I don't know if I can like Okay, so I can drag. They all need to be within. They all need to be one block apart. I see. So I can like drag the ships around, right? Exactly, Gil. Exactly. Yeah, I think it's a good scope. So I can drag these ships around, right? So like, let's say I want my ships to. This is a lot of ships, by the way. Just randomize them. Let's do random. And then, okay. Wait, is this a real opponent? Or is this like a... Is this like a computer? Oh, is this a real guy? Oh shit, wait, did I hit him? Okay, no, I didn't. I might be playing with some real person. That's kind of funny. Okay, mine will not have networking though. I will not be implementing networking. Okay, let's just finish this game out. This guys, this officially turned into a gaming channel. Oh, I hit him. Oh, that was one of his. Okay. Maybe like this? No. Yeah, this is totally a real person. No, this is now what we're gonna recreate. Except it's gonna be a computer, or a. Oh, did he leave? Oh no, he didn't. He guessed already. Sorry. This guy's gonna think I have hacks. It could be AI. It's true. Man, he is really unlucky, though, with guesses. I'm not gonna lie. It could be Gil. I don't know if I'm, like, advanced enough for that yet, though. I don't know if I have it in me to do the networking. I mean, I maybe. I don't know. I'll definitely start doing it, like, local. I'll start with a local implementation. All right, so I'm just gonna finish this off because I'm invested in this guy now. So just kind of get. Oh, I got one. Okay. No. Okay, I got that ship. Oh. Okay. Man, he's really having a bad time, this guy. This is absolutely riveting gameplay. Okay, good. He got that one. BenStack GG. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I feel like there's too many ships, though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like this is more ships than I remember from when I was a kid playing this game. This has got to be a ship. That's a ship. Oh, I got unlucky there. This guy's almost toast, I think. Unless he beats me. He might. He might beat me. Okay, so there's only one. There's a ship of length 1 left. Ah, okay. He beat me. I'm going to say GG. Alright, nice. That's pretty cool. Alright, cool. So that's what we're going to try and recreate, I guess. Whether or not it's with the networking, you know, that could be, you know, down the line, I guess. But I feel like I'm not good enough to do that because that would require a back end. Would it be a good strategy to always win? Yeah, I have no idea, Gil. I feel like it's kind of random. Comp in this game? Yeah, well, because the computer, like, I feel like if I'm implementing this, the AI is just going to choose random positions. But if it gets, what I can do is it can choose random positions, but then if it gets a position, then it won't just choose another random position. It'll choose a position that's like adjacent to the position it hit, right? Let me see. Is there strategy to Battleship? Probably not. I feel like this is all bullshit, but I could be wrong. Oh, unless there's like a human psychology aspect where like people tend to guess in more locations than others. Yeah, sorry. I am going down the rabbit hole. Okay. I'll get back on track here. Okay. So that's cool. This is a lot. This is gonna be a lot of fun, guys. So the next few streams, we'll be building this Battleship project. So if you want to be here for that, tune in on Friday. I'm taking tomorrow off, but tune in Friday. We'll get started with this, or Saturday. I don't know. I might take Friday off too, but I'm thinking I'll be back Friday. Anyway, I can continue doing this Git lesson because I was doing this Git stuff earlier because I didn't really want to do this on stream because I thought it'd be too boring. Just like the extra Git stuff, but I don't know. Yeah, I'll do this Git sucker for the next 7 minutes, and then I'll probably end stream because it's not getting super late here, but you know, it's I gotta, you know, I have other things to do with my evening. Let's see. Okay, so I did some of this already. Ooh, yeah. That'd be, you know, it'd be cool, Gil, if we did like API calls to like an AI or something, right? Or do you mean like coding my own like AI? So basically just like a step-based AI, because I could do that too. Like a brute force AI, in some sense. What is this window behind here? Oh, that stupid al dente thing that I installed a long time ago. It's essentially like a power management app, but it doesn't really work. Coding my own AI, bare bones AI, like yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I hear you. Okay. Yeah, like that, like what AI used to mean before ChatGPT came out, essentially, is what you're saying. Okay, let me zoom into this a little. Where was I practicing this? Git playground. Gamel, I don't take notes that often, but when I do, I usually do them in markdown files. But I usually learn mostly by doing. So I follow the lessons, I do the exercises, and I also save a lot of my learning resources and my references here. So like, for example, I reference the TypeScript handbook quite often, as well as the MDN docs for like common things, like you know, because I don't feel like when I'm learning by building, I don't feel like I feel like it's kind of a waste of time to take notes. But that's just me personally. That's just my learning style. But no, I don't take notes that often. But anyway, okay. So we did this rebase thing. I actually might code in here because that's what I was doing before. Yeah, exactly. I just mainly do doc references. It's a couple of challenges that are worth doing. You build everything yourself with a couple of assets. Yeah. Okay, Gil. Is it somebody told me about how's it going, Junaid? Somebody told me about this website called is it this one? Front End Mentor? Somebody told me about this. I don't know if this is the same thing, Gil, or if you were the one that told me. I don't remember. But essentially, like, you exactly that, yeah. I'll definitely look into doing this kind of stuff. Like, so we got like learning paths, challenges. Yeah, I think I'll graduate to this like after Odin. Or I can even do it concurrently if you guys want me to. I don't know. I kind of wanted to just speedrun Odin, so I had like a sampler of everything that there is to know, and then, I was going to continue with maybe stuff like this. Yeah, this is cool. Flashcard app, explore. Yeah, okay. So these are like different people's solutions to things. That's cool. Personal blog, that's pretty neat. You got like it's intermediate. Note-taking web app. Yeah, it is, Junaid. It's a website. It's a website for basically building like web apps, right? But do any of these like? I guess these don't necessitate using frameworks, right? Like, and then do you get like okay, so you get like Figma design files, like layouts. So you don't actually have to worry about the design part. You just worry about the development, which is kind of neat, right? Because as a developer, I'm not necessarily a designer because I'm not. My girlfriend does UI UX, but I do not. She is a web designer. Right, okay. Wait, so do you only get the... Oh, because this is the... Okay. So some of these you need the pro version to get the Figma. I see. Right, but like some other ones, like this basic one here, well, if you go to the top... Oh, wait, not that one. Yeah, like this project, flashcard app, Figma design file. Although, is this a premium? Oh, it's a premium. Okay. So some of these are premium, so I can filter for the free ones. But there's still lots of free ones. Yeah, I got you. Like bento grid, social links profile, age calculator. Yeah, this will be good for like my pure front end skills. I'll definitely jump into this. I think for now, I'm going to just do the Odin project because I just want to finish this guy so that I have like, I mean, I could jump into some of this stuff like the HTML and CSS only. I could definitely do now. But like a lot of the more like even the junior projects, I kind of want to like do them, ideally I would do them with like a framework, right? Like React or whatever it is. I also want to learn Svelte too. I've heard Svelte is cool. I don't know how relevant it is. But this is like another framework. I had a buddy in school that used this one. Front-end framework. So, I don't know. There's lots to learn. But, yeah. Mortgage repayment calculator. That's kind of cool. This is very similar to, like, what we built for the Odin project, actually. Yeah, exactly, Gil. I can learn both. I think I'm going to start, as I say, I'm going to start with React because I've heard that like learning React is like the kind of foundational. I might be wrong in this, but it's like the foundational framework, and then you can kind of like learn other frameworks. Like once you know React, it's easier to learn other frameworks, right? And Next.js works on React, right? So knowing that would be good. Yeah. I don't know, all very exciting stuff. I think though, I'm gonna end it for tonight. I did 5 Pomodoros, which is not too bad. We finished our Knight's Travails app thing. I didn't think we were gonna finish it in one stream, but we did. We one streamed it. I'll definitely take a look at this website more in the future, like in the next month or two, when I hopefully finish this Odin project, because oh, interesting. So you can't just use React by itself. Okay. But like, anyway, what I was saying is this JavaScript course is like a beast of a course compared to these other ones. Like, we should be able to knock off these courses in relatively little time. So, yeah. Oh, you can. Okay. Yeah, so basically, Gil, this whole curriculum. So I finished this JavaScript one. I'm very close. Basically just the Battleship project. I'm gonna do this Git stuff on the side. Junaid, yes, definitely, 100%. Which is why in the Odin project, which is what I'm following, it takes you through intermediate HTML, CSS, a full JavaScript course, and then advanced HTML, CSS before you even touch React, right? So basically, I'm going to do a little bit more advanced HTML, CSS after JavaScript. And then we're going to jump into React. So then I'll do this React course, and then databases, which I already know databases kind of, because I use them in work. And then Node.js here. So, and Jay was in here earlier. There is a auth. I think there's an auth practice here, right? I thought there was auth in here. Yeah, auth, here it is. See, there's like Node.js auth practice. Like building your own auth route. So I don't know. A lot of cool stuff up ahead. Yeah, right here. Yep. There's a members only project which uses does the whole Postgres, bcrypt. Does it do JSON web tokens? Maybe not. It might not. Oh, it uses Passport. Oh no, that's not it. I don't know. I don't think it uses JSON web tokens though. Huh. Either way. Yeah, I'm going to, Jay. After that's the Node.js course, so we'll get there eventually. But all these courses are shorter than the JavaScript one. Like this JavaScript course has taken me probably, I don't know, if we're on day 38, it's probably taken me like 20 days. Or it probably will take me 20 days by the time I'm done with it. So like if each stream is like 3 hours-ish, that's like 60 hours. No, Junaid, it's completely free. It's completely free. You can check it out here. So you can start like today. If you go to my channel and you look at day 1 of my streams, I start right basically at the very beginning of the Odin project. It's completely free though. So I would recommend it. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Yeah, they probably don't, Gil, exactly. They probably don't. They cover enough of it though, you know? I don't know. At least I think they do. Or at least the fellow whatever they are, the people who maintain Odin Project think it's enough. So I'm going to trust their judgment. But anyway, thank you all for joining the stream. I really appreciate each and every one of you that showed up. I'm going to be off tomorrow, taking the night off to spend with my girlfriend. And then Friday, I should be back around the same time, 6:30 to 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So UTC -4. And yeah, it was really exciting. We're going to be starting that Battleship project. Probably not with networking, but that's okay. You know, we always start somewhere. And yeah, so I hope you have a good rest of your evening or morning. And I'll see you in a couple days.